Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Welcome to day 3. I had to think about it. Day 3. Day 1 was money manifestation. Day 2 was a really great day on energy. And day 3, let me just bring in the lady here. Day 3 is all about the stillness within. And we have really needed the stillness within. So we're really excited to bring you this. And Virginia, I take it over to
Yeah.
you. You are super meditation coach.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Thanks for being with us today on day 3 for the Stillness Within, which happens to be my favorite day. Um, so we thought we'd start off with a meditation, and I just, today I thought I'd do a little meditation. We won't do it too long, but let's just kind of get comfy, because I don't know about you, but I'm feeling the need for a little bit of stillness and a little bit of quiet, and that, a chance to just kind of sink in and connect. So let's all do that ourselves and take a couple of minutes. So like we have done in the past, find yourself a nice, comfortable seat. I recommend back supported and neck free, but do what's comfortable for you. And just get yourself comfortable. And then I invite you to close your eyes. And let's just take a couple of deep breaths. And relax. Breathing in and expanding. And on the exhale, releasing and relaxing. And again, on the inhale, expanding. And on the exhale, relaxing and melting down. And continue just to focus on the breath. Relaxing. Sinking down. And I invite you to practice a little mindfulness. So bringing us into the room, what is the most prevalent thing you hear right now? What is the most prevalent thing you smell? And what is the most prevalent thing you taste? And now, what is the most prevalent thing you feel? Do you feel a fan? Do you feel a blanket? And just relaxing in those feelings, those senses around us. And then you can choose a mantra or a nice, powerful, grounding word, balance, breathe, trust. And just really relax, focus on your mantra, focus on your word. And if the thoughts start to come in, just come back to your word, come back to your mantra, come back to your breath. Just finding that thing to bring your focus back to. And just take a minute and let's just sink in and relax. Just coming back to your focus word, coming back to your breath, letting go of the thoughts. Come back to those later. Just relax. And now I invite you to think of a few things that you're grateful for in your life. And just really send that thing, that person, that animal, whatever it is, send it some love and gratitude. And just really feel into that gratefulness for that person or that thing in your life. And now, from that point of gratitude, I invite you to think of a goal or a dream, something that you're working towards. It could be an outcome of a meeting. It could be a big dream, a big change in your life, whatever that is that you're working towards. I want you to see that goal or dream as if it's already here. And really feel into that visual. Feel into how good it feels to have accomplished this. And who is with you and celebrating? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does that smell like, taste like? Really feel into that. See that dream, see that goal in full color. Just really let your imagination go wild. Just really bring it to life in your mind's eye. And just spend a minute here, just really, really enjoying this beautiful dream. It's already here. It is done. And when you're finished your visualization, just really feel that feeling, enjoy that feeling. Know that you can bring that feeling into your day anytime you want. Looking at this beautiful manifestation for this or something better. Coming back into the room. Stretching if you need to. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Whew. How's that feel? Oh, I needed that. Hey? Oh my goodness. I hope everybody else did too, because I feel much better now. And it's a good lead in to our day, right? Talking about that stillness within. So how does that feel? How does that feel for you guys? Connecting with self and just taking a moment to kind of come back into the body. I was having a chat with Christine and Dr. G earlier about that reconnecting to self. Often there's a lot going on right now. I have a lot of changes, a lot of balls up in the air, and I'm, and I feel that sometimes I spend a lot of time not in my body because I'm here and I'm there and I'm planning and I've got to do this and I got to do that. And then, everything kind of becomes, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it, but taking those moments to just kind of come back in and connect. And it is so important, because otherwise we can start to feel that flightiness almost, right? Like we're not connected, and we're really not. So and why moving inward matters. That starts, I'm just looking at our workbook here. So why moving inwards matters. So for me, it is so important for that connection inwards. That is my sacred time and place to really connect to source, to connect to my higher self, to connect to my intuition, to ask those questions that maybe I haven't taken the time to ask or to listen for the answers. So meditation is that time for me, that reconnection, that time to find that stillness and that within. What would you say on that, Dr. G? And why moving inwards matters for you?
Yeah, well, just as you're talking, it also, we're talking about business too. So when we move inward and just have a moment, it just brings everything back into perspective, because we could be in our heads, like what you said, you're in a big transition of moving, right? So then it's almost like that moving inward matters even more. So when we catch ourselves doing all the things and we're and then we can kind of feel not supported, we can forget how easy it is. I have feedback now. How important it is to just take that moment to move inward, and how much that shifts not only for ourselves but everything around us, our relationships, like even when you had that visualization, I was like, with money and God and Gaia, like, ooh, they're just there. They're like, they want to walk with us right now. God and Gaia really are like, let's all hold hands and walk, which sounds really silly, but really they're here to support us. And money, and then my business. And so, but I don't have to be up here to do that, right? We think we have to be up here a lot of the time. So really why moving inward matters is it gives you that clarity. It grounds you into the earth. It helps you remember your dream and your focus. So
yeah,
that's how I look at
exactly.
it. And personally, I feel like it's essential in your business. Like we just have to do it. Like in this world where things are so crazy, that's where we come from, is our intuition, our guidance, connecting with God or source or creator. So it's essential.
And I kind of use my meditation, I've noticed as over the years, as I have moved forward with my own meditation practice, because again, it's about making it your own, right? And for me, I've been stepping into, the business, pivoting from, logistics and that world into the service to others and how I want to show up in the world. And so my business very much comes into my meditation, and probably everyone. I mean, it's rare that my business is not involved in my meditation in some way. It because it is me. It's how I show up in the world, and it's no longer that separation of who I am. And I want that. I want that connection with my business in that way, so that we're both flourishing and growing together and in that connected kind of way. You know what I mean? So yeah, when I see that, when I go into my manifestation, because I always finish my meditations with manifestation. And so when I go into that manifestation, it's all about usually how my business, but I mean, it's my business is awesome. And like you said, God's there celebrating the angels, Gaia, the flowers, the trees, the people, my family, my pets, like everybody's there. It's not that limiting, it's about the whole thing. It's about it all being connected and really kind of creating and making that connection for me. Christine, how about you? What's your thoughts on why moving inwards matters?
I love when you talk about meditation and going within, because you just light up. It's so your jam.
I know, I love it, right?
Yeah. And I have a quote from you that I'm going to pop up, because this is you and your jam, but get your butt in the chair. I have to thank you, Virginia, because you really taught me how to meditate properly. I didn't know until I said, hey, we're doing a program. Will you do a meditation for us in the mornings? And to be present, I was there present, in our group, and I started to really listen. I was like, oh, that's what meditation really is, or that's how you get into a deeper meditation. And it's delicious. Like, I never would have thought to say that before, but really it has helped me so much to calm the noise that's going on all around. Like, we are inundated with so many things that are happening in our day, business, homeschooling, Zoom calls, this appointment, that appointment, and just the everyday stuff. And going within has given me clarity on who I am, who I want to serve. I love now getting downloads. I never knew what they were until I started meditating, because I wasn't calm enough to hear. I was always in fight or flight. Oh, I got to do this, or moving on to this next thing. And you really taught me how to just take 20 minutes a day. I do it in the morning and then later in the afternoon to just calm down. And then I started getting all these messages and downloads, and it's been super cool, because you have a question, you can go in with that intent. This is how I want, I want to bring in new clients, or have this thing that, an emotion that I want to release, or I'm really excited, what's my next step here? And going in with that intent it's a game changer. It's a life game changer, but also a business game changer, because it can really catapult you so far ahead into what you want to call in, or whatever piece is maybe, going around in your mind or keeping you up at night. That going within really helps to calm you, but then also to be able to get the answers that are there. We're just not a vibrational match to them, because we're, squirrel syndrome. We're here, we're there, but calming down, you can then have that stuff attracted to you and actually be able to see it. Because when we're not calm, or, we're in our head, then all of the messages that God is giving to us saying, how about this person? Or how about this idea? We don't hear it, because we're just too busy with everything else. And then 3 months later or a month later, you're like, dang, I'm still stuck, or I'm still having this issue. It's like, you weren't listening.
And that was it. And I for years had people telling me that I should meditate, but nobody told me how. And I just didn't get it. And they would say, quiet your mind. I'm like, well, that's freaking impossible. So I guess I can't meditate. And then when I learned, and my coach, I was like, oh my gosh, we humans freaking overthink this. We just gotta, it's just finding that focus. It's just finding that quiet focus within. And you're right. All those years before, I'm that A-type personality, right? Like, and no wonder I'm in logistics, because I am totally thinking of, like, there's, I can do this and this at the same time, because then I can do that. And then, that's how my brain works. And there are always a bazillion thoughts and things going on in my mind. And up until I learned to meditate, you're just doing what I had time for. Like, I was just like, nope, can't call that person, don't have time. And, even though that was needed, you know what I mean? Like, or for whatever, whether it was for my business or whatever it was, like, I was just like rolling with it instead of sinking into it. And when I learned to meditate, I quieted the chatter. I gave myself time to listen for the answers and heal. I mean, really heal.
Yeah.
And yeah, it took some time. I've been learning new tricks and things like that have helped on a deeper level, but heal. And when you heal yourself, you heal everything. You heal all of those that are connected to you, your business, the people in around you and around your circle. It is so important. And all that time I was like, 2 times 20 minutes a day, like where am I gonna find that? Exactly. And then, which comes into the next question on the sheet, how do we get started creating a meditation practice? Schedule it.
Well, and there's this meme that says, if you don't have 15 minutes every day, then you need 2 hours, or,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, if you don't have the time, you need longer. And before you go into that, I just want to, Sabrina's here chatting, and how this fits into the business is really that, and especially who we're speaking to as spiritual entrepreneurs, right? That it's how, like, as we're going into how to get started creating this, you will expand exponentially at a rate that you didn't even know was possible, because those downloads are waiting to happen, but the brain is like, and so just by those 20 minutes, like, I also get downloads driving a lot. And I'm like, well, I just go for a drive sometimes because I'll feel stuck when I'm driving out in the country, and they're like, gee, because part of me is focused on driving, and then these other downloads come in. So I love that we're moving into that, like that it's essential. And for spiritual entrepreneurs, it's even more essential, because you're going to get more of those downloads. You're going to get more clarity. You're going to get a business plan that makes sense to you and your business, just by taking 40 minutes a day, or even 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night. So I know Virginia is going to go into how to get started by creating this. And we're going to call you out and help support you for the rest of the week too, to really get that established. So I wanted to plug that in a little bit.
And if you have questions, pop them in the chat, because this is the great place to have them answered. And we'll come back to you, Sabrina. We'll talk about what you had said about guided meditation versus not. Virginia is good for that. And we'll talk about that after. We'll come back to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, first thing to start a meditation practice is to schedule it. And that's, and for me, that was huge, because I actually put it into this day. I've been now almost 4 years meditating 20 minutes 2 times a day, and it still pops up as a reminder on my phone, to go and meditate, right? Even though I know it now. I know when I need to take that 15, 20 minutes and go and just sit and chill, right?
Wait, how do you know?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I feel tired. I feel like that, that after lunch, I need a nap kind of thing. But my thing is I don't nap. I'm not a good napper. If I nap, I wake up grumpy, and you really probably don't want to hang out with me. So I would be like, well, that's not very nice. I don't wake up in the way that I want to be, right? So I just would you never mind. I just won't nap. I'd rather go to bed earlier than have a nap in the afternoon. And so for me, and there has been scientific studies done that prove 15-minute meditation 2 times a day will improve your sleep, will improve your productivity. So and that was a big one for me, because it was like, okay, I got to schedule this. I got to make this happen in my day, but I got a lot of shit to do. I got stuff. I got places to go. I got people to see, and it was like, how am I going to do this? And what I found was like, holy crap, look at me go, man. Like, I'm done work at 3:00. I'm like, wow, I think I'm going to go have some pool time. Or, I'm going to go for a walk in the woods, or, whatever, right? It really does, actually, because you're thinking more clearly, you're getting those messages, so that, if you're working with a client, or you're working on a sale or something like that, you really can kind of tune into the messages that are coming to you about that in your business or with your family, or whatever. But yeah, it totally resets me. I'm like, I'm like $1,000,000. I mean, I recommend twice a day, 15 minutes to 20 minutes, 2 times a day. Typically, first thing when you wake up in the morning, and again before your last big meal of the day. If you've eaten your big meal and you go, oh crap, I forgot to meditate, and you want to go and meditate, then go with it. If it doesn't feel good for you, then don't worry about it. If you want to meditate when you go to bed, go for it. For me, I don't do well meditating close to bedtime because I am then now awake for 2 more hours. I get like lit up. So for me, meditating at bedtime is not really a great idea. So, but that's why I like to do it before, mid-afternoon is kind of my jam. But, if I've got stuff to do before I go out, I meditate before I go. So, you just kind of work it into however it works in your day. But so getting started is schedule it. That's the biggest thing. Set reminders on your phone, on your computer, on your laptop, wherever it is that you set yourself, make it an appointment. It is an appointment for you to check in with you. And it is an important appointment that you should not miss. So you really have to set the intention that when you're setting those, that you're counting that as an appointment with you. And it's so super important to keep that appointment. So, and then starting the meditation practice, it's really just sit, close your eyes, breathe, focus on your breath. And if you, in that meditation, I was saying you could have a mantra, you could have a word, I see my mantra that's just kind of floating around. And whenever those thoughts, because I'm a very visual person, so the thoughts start coming in, and my mantra just kind of floats in and pushes them away. And it's like, we don't need to deal with you right now. And that's just kind of how I see it. They just float away. You can look at it with your breath, focus on your breath. And if you see a thought come in, it's like, bring your focus back, whether it's to your breath, to that mantra, to that word, whatever it is that is keeping your focus for while you're just sitting. And it's just sitting and getting quiet with yourself. And I know, I think it was Sabrina said she does better with a guided meditation than and Christine says the same. And that's not that that's a bad thing. If that works for you and it gets your butt in the chair, then, do it, whatever feels right. All I would say about that is just be choosy on who you're listening to. Because remember, when we come into a guided meditation, although I like to believe that everybody who does something like that is coming with good intentions for the people who are listening to it, there's still an energetic transfer, right? So that's why I say just be choosy, know who the person is who's guiding you on that meditation, and that you align with who they are and what they stand for. That would just be my only suggestion, rather than just going to YouTube and going, give me a guided meditation and hooking up with whatever, automatically shows up on your screen. Just be choosy. If you're going to do a guided meditation, that would be my only suggestion. But trying to just get in and just get quiet with yourself, just start slow. And it doesn't have to be 15 minutes right out the gate. Start with 5 minutes twice a day and work your way up, right? That would be my suggestion. But number one thing, schedule it.
I'm going to ask a question. So I'm going to add for mothers, right? Because here we go. Got to show the belly because, whoop.
Yes.
Whoop, baby bump. If you ever see me jump off screen, it's because I'm going pee or I'm eating, And I have 2 small kiddos, right? So I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And sometimes first thing in the morning, it's a shit show. And I'm like, I need to go meditate. And if I don't, sometimes I just have, I talk a lot about in my business, how to be a mother and take that time. Because people will say, oh, I just don't have the time. Oh, I just don't have the time. And the truth is you do. And so sometimes it's like a minute in the car, like I'm just like, I'm going to lose my bananas. I'm going to take a minute. using an app that can support you, like Insight Timer, or I think Calm is another app. You know, I use Insight Timer because they have, like, I'm like, a minute's not long enough, and I'll listen to it, and it can shift so quickly. So yeah, Sabrina, you know, finding little loopholes. And then sometimes I'm like, husband, if I don't get 15 minutes, you're going to regret it. you're gonna want me to have these 15 minutes. And especially on weekends, because that's like our cozy, lovey, like we want to be together. That's, you know, something I don't like to sacrifice, because the weekends are just like our time together. So as a mom, having kids, just knowing that it is possible, and it just might look different. Like mine's 10 minutes, or if it's in the middle of the day, I sit in my chair, because being pregnant, sometimes it's uncomfortable, you know, so I give myself permission to do it in different increments, but it supports the process too. So, and I just encourage moms that's part of your self-care routine. It's like a non-negotiable. It's going to help the family. It's going to, you know, just finding these ways, because I've had a lot of moms that are business owners, and they're like, well, I just don't even know how to do it. And I'm like, you make it a priority, because what do moms do? Like Virginia, you guys like give to everybody else first, but really what we need to do every day is give to ourselves first, because then it exponentially allows you to be present in your life and your business and with your kids. So I just wanted to add that, because it does come up, and especially with moms, you know, mom and business owners, and that kind of stuff. So
and don't beat yourself up if it's only 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Christine, go ahead.
Yeah. Also having a little one, 8 years old. At the beginning of last year, when we were home, I was super stressed, because home 24/7. I'm like, what? I lost my 6 hours of, you know, me time. And I started going for walks. So you can do walking meditations, but in the morning, I just started to do them before she woke up, because then I could set myself for the day. And I can feel it when I need to have a meditation. Like I feel that stress headache coming on the back of your neck, or you're just feeling on edge. And what happens is, if you don't take that time for you, 5 minutes is all you need. You're going to start yelling at the kids. You're going to start, you know, critical to yourself and all of that. So it is really important. But teach the kids, because they're learning it at school anyways. They're mindful moments they have in the morning. But when I can say to her, okay, I'm going to go and meditate, it teaches her how to calm herself down as well when she's feeling that. And now she asks for them at bedtime. When she's feeling a little unsettled, or maybe, you know, some fear, whatever, she'll say, can I have a meditation? And we talk about it. So last night we put one on for fear, but, you know, how to calm. And so it was about calm, not fear. But it's really good, because then you're teaching them from a young age how to self-soothe themselves, instead of something that's maybe addictive, that's not great for them. Like whatever, we know what those are. But it's a really good way for moms. And then for Sabrina, this last thing I'll mention, I also, you know, have the feeling of a guided meditation is the best, because I can actually get that deeper meditation. I can get in there. But I've been really listening to Virginia, who says, well, no, you should be able to do it on your own and start at 5 minutes or earlier. And for me, when I closed my eyes, it was just black. And I thought I was doing it wrong. I thought, well, now I'm just thinking about the groceries or what we're having for dinner, or, you know, and all of the things. I'm like, did I even meditate? And so it's just coming back to that focus and that word. But by me having, I feel like, a temper tantrum to be like, no, Virginia, that doesn't work for me. And I was really mad. I'm like, I can't get into that meditation. It's a limitation, I understand, on my own, but it's, mix it up, right? Don't do just one set way. Work yourself up to that, because now what I've learned from Virginia and just from my own journey is to have a place where I can go in my mind, something that is beautiful, and you feel that warm, fuzzy feeling that I can get to in a guided meditation. I now have a place, like a visual place in my mind, that I can go there and I feel that same, you know, warmness, or like, ooh, this is going to be a good meditation, and just having that visual. And if you don't know what that is, think about your favorite movie, or, a scene by the water, whatever that is, or a source will tell you, just ask. and go there. And then now I can actually do it without a guided meditation. Still not my favorite, but I'm learning how to do that so that I'm not dependent on the guided. And I think that's what Virginia has been trying to say. So if that can help anyone, is really just having that place in your mind where you go to create, you go to, create your clients or the life that you want, or, the house you want with the kids, whatever it is, having that space inside.
Yep, exactly. And that's been my biggest thing, that trying to teach people, as I can give you the basics, and just really it's about get the basics, get your butt in the chair, schedule it every day, get yourself into the habit. And it's almost like, don't think about whether you're doing the meditation right now. Just focus on get your butt in the chair, and you're scheduling it every day. And as you get going, it will come. Just give it time, and it's all about allowing yourself a little bit of flexibility, because what I do, and Christine gave it a perfect example there. I have zero problemo getting into a chair and dropping down. Like, I have no problem. I am there. I am dropped down. I am quiet. I like the dark. I like it. It's peaceful there. It's, so for me, that's how I perceive that. And Christine perceives it in a completely different way. And that's kind of the whole point. It's okay. It is what it is for you. Don't think that you're doing it wrong. You're doing it for what feels good for you. And that's the whole point. So just get your butt in the chair and schedule it. That would be the two most important things that I could say.
Then you get a gold star.
Yes, exactly.
From Virginia.
Okay, so here's a good question. So how to overcome the inner objections? I never had any inner objections. I loved meditation in that still point. I love it. There is no objection. What about you guys? Do you guys have inner objections when it comes to meditation? Is there something that you feel is holding you back
from meditating?
Yeah. Because there's something, or maybe up to maybe now, right? That's why I've been doing it for quite a while now. So I can't think of any objections that I had, other than they told me I had to clear my mind. I was like, well, that's just not possible. So, and it's not. So you're okay. You can no more stop your mind from thinking than you can stop your heart from beating. It is just going to happen. It's really just about, focus. Yeah.
And I think just overcoming, like for moms and for me, it's time. So just overcoming that and knowing that sometimes it's 5 minutes, and I integrate stillness through, like, I'll meditate for 5 to 10 minutes, and it just feels like, boom, I actually like get all these messages. So it's not totally stillness, but it's a time to just be silent and receive and open my heart and to embody more of myself, which is really what I'm calling in. And then I'll sit on my chair, and then I just drink my tea, and I just allow myself to be still and quiet. And even again, if that's 10 minutes, then that creates some big shifts it's, the time. And once I just do it, and I don't usually do an afternoon one. So that's something I'm going to integrate as, we're going to challenge everybody to commit to. It could be 5 minutes twice a day. It could be 3 minutes twice a day, something while we're doing this week workshop. And then, to go into like, what's working for you now? Are you meditating? Because like I could say, well, right now my morning is working, afternoon, not so much. I do try to do something in the evening, not right before bed as a meditation, but kind of stillness and like winding down, because it's good to celebrate what is working. If you're doing it once, that's amazing. And if you want to, really, I'd love the studies of, twice a day, 15 minutes, how powerful that is. So,
yeah.
And what I realized is, and you may realize this in your own life too. When I look back to life when I was younger, in my teens and in my early 20s, I was meditating. I was not consistent with it, but like, I don't know who in the comments said walking meditations is their jam.
Tara.
And that's what I used to do whenever I got into, especially teenage years. I remember being in high school, and when you're in school, right, there's all kinds of, fitting in and learning that you're doing about yourself and others at that time. And whatever I would get in, where I just had a lot I was thinking on or whatever, I would walk out. I lived in the country, small town in Ontario. We lived on 2 acres. We backed onto like a ginormous park and field and waterway. And so I literally walked out the back door and just walked into the field. Like I would just keep on walking. I'd hop the fence. I'd go into the bush. And that was my walking meditation. And I would get down by the water and I would just sit and I would just think and I would just be okay, and it was, and not realizing as an adult, and life started to happen because I was a mom at 22 and a mom of 3 by 27. So it was like, whoa, like, like what? Quiet time. When do I get to walk into the woods? You know what I mean? Like, so it was, so that I lost that connection in that way. So for me, that, walking meditation is just as beautiful, just allowing yourself that time and that space. And you can really get as equally awesome downloads and answers and all of that in a walking meditation, just like you can in a sitting for 15 minutes and whatever.
If I can interject, I think that one thing that's helpful, like when you're busy and in the moment and you're being pulled in 6 different directions and you're just feeling that, like I'm on edge, is if you're not able to sink into a meditation, you can do it with your eyes open and just have intent, like do a grounding, bring in source white light and just have that run through your body and let the whatever's draining you just run into the ground and just come back to grounding yourself. Because then whatever's ahead of you, you're like, okay, it's just like a deep breath. You can do that at the dinner table when the kids are fighting. You can do it, when you're on a call and someone triggers you on a work call or something like that. You can just zone in and they don't even have to know. Your eyes could be open, but you've gone somewhere else in your mind, right? It's just going to that happy place to just come back to center.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we kind of already answered this. What is working for you now? Do you guys have anything to add for that? And I like that you reminded us about the moms with the little ones, because I know you both have got little ones. And of course, I'm going to see my little grandbabies soon. But and again, I can hardly wait to get with the grandkids and having them around and say, okay, Gigi's going to meditate. Do you want to come with me?
Mm-hmm.
And just, and I can hardly wait to, I'm certain it's going to be a challenge, but it's one that I'm looking forward to. And I think that they will naturally fall into that because it's spending time with you.
Yeah.
And that over time, just like you said with Amelia, she's starting to feel like, hey, this feels good when I'm done.
It's awesome.
And I know that there are many schools out there, all over the world, but in North America, I know that are starting to introduce meditation for the young ones and for instead of detention, having meditation instead of detention. I'm like, yes, like, that is just huge. So I highly, highly, highly recommend meditation.
One tip for anyone with the kids is let them pick. There's lots of kids stuff, and it's a story. So they walk them through and it's, maybe there's unicorns or frogs or something. So it's like a talking story. But when you read a book with them and they're on your lap, they're equating that reading with love. Let them meditation be the same, like snuggle on the bed. They're getting mom's time. Mom's not on her devices, right? How many kids are saying like, you're always on a device, put it down. Well, you have to turn the meditation on if you're doing the guided one, but that's a snuggle time. That's an opportunity where then they can equate, okay, we're in a calm moment, or, even expressing how we're feeling, like, I'm really frustrated right now. This dinner didn't go well and I feel really frustrated, and let's just all go sit on the couch or lay in the bed and let's do a meditation together. Who wants to pick, right? If you have more than one kid, and so and so gets to pick the next time. But that's just a good way to make it a fun experience for them, where they're getting you. That's that's the benefit for them. And then you're also going to get a moment where they're not running wild, or, you could just all do it together.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you get better at the distractions too, just so you know, right? You get better at letting the distractions happen around you and really just kind of tuning them out. So I find, even if the kids are playing and I'm in the same room, if I can get and because I'm totally seeing that this is how this is going to go for me, right? The kids are going to be playing. It's going to be nutty, and they're going to be loud, and they're going to be banging, and they might, want the same toy, or, but I literally see myself in the middle of that room, just taking 5 minutes and sinking in, even though they're all out there and doing their thing, and the dogs are barking, and there's, whatever. I am still taking 5 minutes. I'm tuning that out. The world is still going to be there when I come back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's allowing the distractions. Yeah, allowing the distractions, because a lot of the time we can, that can bump people off course. And I just want to mention, I love what Heather said here. Heather Kuhn says, whether your kids are 2 or 22, they require your time. Honoring your own balance is the key. So yeah, very important. That's beautifully said.
Yeah.
So next question, what do we got? What type of routine are you ready to create? Share here and in the group. So what do you guys think?
Meditation tips.
Yeah. And if you don't have it right now, or what you want to commit to, this is going to be the soul work, so that you can drop it in there, kind of taking intention and ownership over what you want to create, and just commit to, that this week is really about growth and transformation and shifting the energy within yourself and your business and going inward. So we're continuing the inward journey, and soon we're going to start talking about how do we express outward through our business and our lives as well. So if you don't know right off the top of your head, then we'll have a soul work where you can claim that and say, okay, I'm going to start with 5 minutes twice a day. Or, what do you want to create, and how do you see that changing you and your business, right? Understanding that shift will change you inside of your business by committing to you. Your business is going to shift quite easily and rapidly as you go more and more inward, and as we talked about the energetic blocks yesterday. So it's honestly like out there waiting for you to be like, can you get your shit together a little bit more? Like, can you go inside and get calmer? Because it really wants to expand, right? The energetics of our wealth consciousness, of our business consciousness, of our relationships, it's waiting for us to get on board. It's waiting for more of us to be embodied. It's waiting for us to commit to ourselves. So then the business is like, oh, okay, there you are. Let's do this thing, right? Because it wants to grow and expand. And especially who we're drawing are people that want to have this bigger impact. They're ready to be seen. They might be a little scared to be seen, but they're ready, So knowing that as you commit, into you, your business immediately will expand. And that's something we want to bring to you, that, and it's not exactly, it's like, how do we show up embodied of service? Because then that's what your messaging is. That's how you show up in your business. That's how you show up online. Like Sabrina going into meditating and then going into a live. Like, I'm actually going to meditate after this, because I went right into a phone call. And then I'm going to do my connecting, and then I'm going to do my messaging, and then I'm going to do these expansive things for my business, because that will shift the energetic frequency. So actually, I would encourage, we had a couple people, and Sabrina's here, but, say that there is some fear about going live or fear of showing up. Meditate first. And it only what if it's 5 minutes, and then go live and watch how it shifts the engagement. Watch how it shifts people reaching out to you, because more of Sabrina is there, more of Andrea is there, more of Christine is there, more of Virginia is there. But if I show up right after this, I've been on calls, I've been eating, I got to go pee, and go live, it's gonna be a little bit like, ooh, what's she talking about? But if I meditate and then go into my business, I just know it will light it up in a completely different way. Yep. And that's what we're moving towards. Like Virginia's beginning meditation. If you miss that, make sure we're actually not going to, I know we usually end with one, but her meditation takes you right into that creation of first going inward, then imagining, you and your business and your angels and all of I love like the flowers all around you. That's the creation meditation. That's the manifestation. Right? So you're getting an alignment. And when you're in alignment going live into something or working with your clients, they're like, whoa, that was powerful. Instead of going into a Facebook Live with your fears or your don't want to be seen, then they sense that. And people are going to be like, But if you come in soul aligned for yourself, then your clients are like, oh, there's Sabrina. Oh, there's Christine. Oh my gosh, like we have to work together. It really will go like this. I notice an extreme contrast when I meditate or I'm really grounded in what I'm going to talk about. Mm-hmm. Then the people are messaging me. They're like, how do I get into your program? What, help me with my business. And it really does go. That's how you find your soul aligned clients, by you being in your soul alignment with you and then your business. So,
yes. Totally. And call in source. So when you're doing your meditation, or if you're doing a grounding before you're going live or before your client call or whatever it is, call in source, spirit source, creator, work through me, teach through me, help me heal, whatever it is, ask for the help and show up, help me show up in the way that they need me to be today, whatever that is, call in that help, right? Whenever it's ideal. And you're absolutely right. You show up in the most beautiful, magnificent way. And it's just awesome.
I was going to say that when I did a month of lives to show myself that I could be consistent and to get out there. And Source had said, you're doing January. And I was like, okay. I would sit in front of the camera. There were many times, like a lot of times when I would just sit there and be like, oh my gosh, in that fear. But then I would just ground myself and I would say, okay, Source, like you asked me to be here. I'm here. You speak through me. Like you share what it is that you want. And then before I knew it, the 5-10 minutes went by and I was like, all right, that was good, and I was okay with it. And not that fear just goes away when you call in your spirit team.
Yep, exactly. So we kind of covered, how do you see this changing you and your business? But that's a good question for all of you, right? How meditation and how you feel it has or can show up or change in your business. So some great questions there. And then share your meditation and what you're committing to shift your business in the soul work section. So that, again, if you know now, then by all means share it in the comments. But when we post the soul work, those are the great places to kind of share those answers and stuff like that. Because again, we are community, and that's the whole point, right? Is working together and sharing. We are all connected, and what works for me can help someone else, and what works for Christine can help someone else that maybe what I said felt a little wobbly, or Dr. G or whatever. Right. So yeah, we highly encourage that discussion and stuff in the comments, in the soul work, or in the comments in here. But yeah, I think that.
Oh, just want to remind people that if you're catching the replay and you miss Monday and Tuesday, make sure you go back to Monday and Tuesday, do the soul work. Those are all in the guide section, because we're going to do a drawing on Friday for some surprises that we are not going to tell you till Friday, but they're big. They're worth over several $100s to participate. So make sure you go back. If you miss those, say replay, engage in the replay. We also do watch parties, and the soul work is really for us to build and support each other up and boost it. So that you're feeling that momentum, not only within yourself, but in your business. So just as a reminder that those are all there. If you're coming in today for the first time, then catch Monday and Tuesday. Those are in the unit section. and then catch the soul work. So we're keeping track. So whoever's catching the videos and doing the soul work, you're going to be entered for a big drawing on Friday. And we'll share what that is. It's going to be, a surprise, but it's definitely going to be worth your time and investment to catch all of that. So I want to add that in.
Yeah. And Dr. G, you had a nice little meditation that you were going to end us off with this afternoon, right? Did you still want to do that?
I had thought about it, but what I'm being shown is that just what you had done in the beginning was really about, it was the going within and manifestation, because you took us right into it. So I might do that later this week, my own energy pulling of like how to call in those soul aligned clients, but it feels.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what it was.
It feels complete with just how you started us with. So
that's awesome.
I think I'm good. Yeah. I think we'll do that later in the week. And draw that in with what feels good as far as that goes. So yeah, otherwise post your questions, invite people. We're going to do some prizes for people that invite the most people as well. So we're keeping track of that. Even though it's Wednesday and they miss Monday, Tuesday, we'll do some prizes for inviting people that this would resonate with. They're looking to grow their business. They're looking to heal inward first, knowing that it starts with them. They want kind of to add in that woo into their business. So we're calling out those business owners that know they're here in the spiritual world. They want to add more being into their business, but also that money manifestation, knowing how to call your soul aligned clients, knowing how to be with less doing, right? We could do and do and do, but then we're up here for just doing. So we're calling you in, we're grounding you and allowing your message to really go around the globe in a different way than the go, 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 go. So
exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
Do you mind? I'd like to chat about one thing that Tara had written in the comments about having a gap in the meditation. And I felt that because earlier I'd be like, I don't think I'm doing it right. Or, now I'm just thinking about the groceries. And I would ask, like, am I even meditating? And I think the trust as far as like, just get your butt in the chair. As you do this more, you will start to get a feel of what feels good. The meditation that Virginia did at the beginning of today, if you even just imagine that when you sit quiet, and Dr. G, you do this very well, and we have done in the beginning of our meetings, is we set an intention and we put ourselves into a sphere or a pyramid and we just call in what our intent is for the day. That's a good way to ground and to meditate as well. If you feel like your mind is all over the place, is, even for today, copy that module of how she did that. But Tara, I want, you had said in a busy household and quieting the mind can be a difficult situation. Absolutely. Learn how to do it as you go. You're at the dinner table or you're at the stove and you're cooking, or can't take your mind off of what you're doing, obviously, in that moment, but just ground in that moment to give yourself something that's calming. But I feel that even the words we say are very important. So as you had written, like, trusting that I have what I needed is to receive is hard for me to trust, or I don't have the time, or it's too busy in my household. Just simply saying, you know what, I choose for my self-care to take this time, and I will find the time instead of I'm too busy or I'm too distracted. I will find the time. And then what happens is your brain is a beautiful machine, or like a Google machine. It will look for the time. If you keep saying I'm too busy, you're just going to get more stuff. You're attracting more stuff that keeps you from that. Just flip the way that you're saying it to yourself, and you will be able to ease into that, into having the time for the meditation and the trust.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? When you've got a busy household around you, just keep doing it. Don't let that, you're always going to have a busy house. It took me a lot of years before I got a house that wasn't so busy anymore. And it's okay. You need to be okay with that, right? And to just, you get used to the distractions, and you get used to just allowing them to happen around you. And yes, some days I sit in the chair and I am thinking about my grocery list, or, I'm traveling soon. So what have I got to pack? Oh, shoot, I got to remember that. I should put it out so I don't forget, like you're thinking, and it's like, would you stop it? Like I have this little battle going on in my head sometimes. That's okay too. So don't beat yourself up. No, I'm not really getting as deep as a good meditation as I want to if I'm thinking about, because you're daydreaming, then you're not meditating, but that's okay. It's okay. Right? if that's just where you are going at that moment in time, and the next meditation is going to be juicy and beautiful and you're going to love it. So again, don't judge, just get your butt in the chair. Seriously, and
you did the
schedule it.
meditation for us that week that you were doing that for us, and it was funny because you're in the chair and it's really calm, and then the dogs started barking, like going crazy, whatever. And in my mind, I'm like, oh no, we're live. The dogs are barking, but you just like a ninja. You're just like, allow the distractions, come back to your breath. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so perfect because we have distractions.
And that's life, right? That's like
Yes.
And
I knew that people would be like, oh my God, what's that? Right? Like I knew that, right? And so that's why I was like, just allow, it's okay. And, and it's okay that at first you went, shut up in your head, right? That's okay too. Right. And, it's just allowing and letting all of those distractions. And again, it just bringing the focus back to your breath. Finding, at the beginning of the year, we said, choose a word, that, makes you feel good or that you're going into the year with. And, is that trust? Is that focus? Is that balance? What is that word that kind of sums up and helps you kind of recenter? So maybe that's your word. Maybe that's your mantra. And it's just floating around in your meditation. And every time you start to think about the grocery list, you go, balance floats back in. It's like bringing it back. And if visually you can't focus on a word, focus on your breath. See your breath coming into your body and where it goes. Follow it. And just, again, it's about focus, bringing your focus back. So it's a relaxed focus. However you get there, you just that's what you got to figure out for yourself.
Awesome.
All right. Good. Let's end there. And we will see you tomorrow. We're going to do self-healing and your biz matter at same time. So where are we? 1 p.m. Eastern time.
Same bat channel, same bat, whatever that is.
So self-healing and your biz matter. Tomorrow is day 4. We'd love to hear your transformation, what shifted for you. And we will see you tomorrow afternoon/morning if you're on the Pacific Coast. So thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.